Yo, it's SBD on the mic, Electronic Dojo Design Guy, and yeah, it's been a while since I did one of these videos, but I thought, we just come off a great weekend that we had at VSFighting, so I just thought I'd do one of these and get a bit of behind the scenes stuff. But first things first, before I start, I'd like to thank everyone that came down to Electronic Dojo, all the players, all the spectators, all the sponsors, all the guys that ran the streams, of everyone that made, like, a shout out to the venue, Millennium Point, like everyone that made the event possible. Like, well, I'm sure everyone all had a great time and it's just about recovered. I know I've only just recovered really this week. There's a lot of work that went into the weekend, so thank you guys for supporting, it's appreciated. But anyway, down to this poster stuff, let's go. First things first, I'll just get to how I did the review, how I got really like that. Then I'll get to the poster. I'm gonna try, and then I get to the logo side. I'm gonna try and keep it a bit brief because I know some of the last two were kind of like long videos. But yeah, basically, first things first. Here's the image that I used. There are a few back and forth looking for different images. Here's the image I used. Basically, first effect is image adjustments and black and white, or Alt Shift Control and B if you're on PC. And basically, what that does is, it's in the name, it makes it black and white, so you play around. Like, basically all I did was play around with the levels of the different color channels, like the reds, the whites. Bring that down a bit, bring that down. So as you can see, it's starting to slowly get rid of the background that it's got. I'll keep that down a bit down there, so I'll just leave it like that. And then the next thing is, because obviously it's still a bit dark, it's image adjustments and levels, or Control and L shortcut. And then again, you have a play around and you work. Yeah, let's see, you can get the general idea, and there you go. It's looking pretty good. It's looking pretty nice. So okay, and I guess one thing you're probably wondering is obviously the gloves and bandana, well, the headband, sorry, the headband stands out. So all I did for that was use the lasso tool. I'll use a shortcut, which is L. Zoom in. And all I did, I used the lasso tool for the video, but initially I used when I did it, I used the pen tool just for a bit more accuracy. Basically, just select around the glove. Oops, I'll go around quickly. Of course, obviously, if you can't see what you're doing, you just move the passive down, and you can see it a bit clearer. So yeah, there's one selection. I'll zoom to the other glove, and then you hold Shift, and you click again, and that retains the first selection that you've done. So, because if I was to click without holding Shift, it would just make a new selection as opposed to keeping the previous ones. So, yeah, just quick example. As I say, I'm trying to get the video done. So yeah, I'll zoom out now, and then it will be Control and J, or Apple and J, and that makes a new layer. So the gloves and obviously the headband will be by themselves. So from there, it's just a matter of image adjustments, brightness, contrast. Bring the brightness down, bring the contrast down, and you have a little play about till you get the desired effects, and go. Let's come back out. Next, excuse me. So as you can see, it's looking a bit like, obviously, more like the actual poster again. So yeah, that's pretty simple. And then again, I took the opacity down of him a bit, and took the opacity down of the gloves a bit. Just tweaks here and there to get the desired effects. And that's about it for review. As I say, I think what it was, we wanted to go back to basics, as it were, with this poster, because a lot of the posters that I've done in the past, you heavy like on effects, heavy on lighting. Like, I pretty much just freestyle when I'm designing. There's no set idea, there's no set brief. It was just, here is the event, here is the day, here's the time, do what you got to do. So I pretty much go freestyle. But it was a like decision to go a bit more clean because obviously, like, yeah, it was just a decision. Just it makes a change from the posters of the past, and it worked out well because the poster ended up on Event Hubs, it ended up on SRK, SureYouCan.com, and it looked pretty good on these sites. Obviously, it ended up on the Capcom Portal website as well, and it just sat well because the neutral colors, obviously the whites and the blacks, just sat well with the rest of the sites surrounding. So, yeah, behind the scenes stuff. This was the first poster that went out, and I say it's on the similar lines, but I think early on, I didn't really want to mess with Ryu's headband. Obviously, the red headband is pretty iconic, so I didn't really want to mess with that. So it was one of the things that I left to stand out in the poster. And as you can see, the venue is different. We had other venues in mind, but as you probably know now, that it was a long road to get VSFighting 4 to where it ended up. So yeah, these are just previous ideas and stuff. We also had a teaser poster, which is this was supposed to go out before anything else, like just a few ideas for teasers and stuff. Once we kind of had a date locked down, which again, obviously the date was different from the final event, but for me that's neither here nor there now. Yeah, and basically this is a teaser event. Obviously everyone knows who Justin is, head of Dojo, like TO extraordinaire, etc, etc. So yeah, basically the idea was just to put it out there like this, and obviously you would connect the dots, put 2 and 2 together, and pardon the pun, and get 4, which would obviously relate to VSFighting 4. And this was obviously using the Roman numerals because we've been using that in the past. Here's an example with the number 4. Basically this effect here is pretty easy to get. I'll just go through it now quickly. Just typed in the number 4, found a cloud background off Google, placed the background above the actual letter, and then scroll down to the layer, hold Control or Apple, left click, and as you can see the marching ants are around the letter 4 now, so I'll just click back onto the layer of the cloud, Control Shift and I to inverse the selection, so it deletes everything outside of the selection as opposed to inside the selection, and you just click delete. Go back to the marquee tool, whoops. Then we got the cloud, and then it's just a matter of just messing around with the color of the actual image. So for this instance, I will do image photo filter. Let's go with a nice green. I'll go with a green. Bring up the density. You see it's starting to change color now. And then just double click. Outer glow. Again, let's go with a nice green. Bring that out, and you can see where we're going with it. So that's quickly just that effect. Anyway, that's just quickly that effect. This was another idea that we had. I'd say it was a bit more further on in the development timeline, as it were. And as you can see, it's pretty similar to what we ended up in terms of the way that the names of the games was laid out. And what you can see here is quite a different lineup initially. Tekken BlazBlue was there, Smash Brothers, Killing Instinct. Obviously those are the games that stand out, and for whatever reason they didn't make the cut, as it were. And again, this was the beginnings of the quote unquote clean poster. And I was having issues. The problem was we weren't sure at the time if we should use one character or use a multiple amount of characters. Could we get away with using one character pretty much? So what we did was I ended up using the Tekken render of Hayachi, and it worked pretty well because it sat in the middle. But the issue with this was the way that I created the effects for this one. It didn't translate well onto the other images that I had to use. So we have Mewtwo. Mewtwo looks fine. We have Noel from BlazBlue. We have Nova from Marvel. But bringing them all together, obviously there's overlap issues to do with opacity and all the rest of it. So we kind of decided to scrap that. And then I say it ended up with the Ryu that we have here. And another quick behind the scenes, as I say, I get to the logo stuff, was this Akuma. Again, and from what you can see, this logo is very different to what we ended up with, but I will get to that shortly, because again, it's a thing where we felt that we needed to brand this tournament correctly and this tournament series correctly, because from the previous ones, versus Fighting 1, as you can see, the posted, this was pretty like Street Fighter 4 Texas is all the rage back then. So Street Fighter 4 Tex, versus Fighting 2 again, and versus Fighting 3. We've never had a consistent like logo or branding for the versus Fighting series. So we felt that we needed to, get a consistent logo and branding. So obviously when people see the logo, they know this is versus Fighting event, regardless of everything else. And it just brings consistency and like people know it easier. So yeah, we decided to do that. So in Illustrator, I'll get to those in a second. Basically in Illustrator, as I say, I've gone to the drawing board and created some sketches and ideas and just rough drafts of sketches and stuff of what I would like the logo to look like. And we ended up with like a star, basically. A star is achievement, recognition, etc., etc. And it worked pretty well. And again, obviously, this is obviously an arcade stick, because it's strong. It's a strong icon, and people recognize it in the fighting game community. So yeah, so basically to create this, obviously once I've scanned in the sketch and whatever, I've used the star tool. and I'll just draw the star. There. And why is it white? Let me get it black. And yep. Use the direct selection tool, which is shortcut A. Let me zoom in. Yeah. And then too much. So basically, it's just a matter of using the direct selection tool to move the anchor points about and the star. Not like that. There we go. So I'll just try and get a rough shape. As I say, I don't really want the video to stretch on too long, but yeah. And pull that one down there. Drop that there. Drop that there. And obviously, I've been a bit more precise with where I've pulled the stars and things like that down there. So yeah, we have a basic rough shape of what the actual logo looks like. So obviously you're wondering how I got that arcade stick there. I closed that. Basically it was just a matter of grabbing the pen tool. Here's the base of the stick, and then I'll use ellipse tool. Shortcut is L. You get the circle. You just draw your circle on top. And as you can see, there's 1 and 2 different shapes. To combine these shapes together, you use the Pathfinder window, which is Control, Shift, and F9. And there you go, it pops up. And then basically you have your options: that join, that unites, that minuses. So as we go along, so basically just highlight both of these, and then you click on join. So now that is one shape, and that's one shape. So I drag the arcade stick on top of the star, highlight everything again. I use the minus front button, which like minuses this area here from the behind shape. So once I do that, that is like that, and now we have one complete shape. And basically again, I'll move that. It was just a case of drawing another drawing another like shape to go in the middle, and that's essentially the poster. But you're probably wondering how I got the lines, the gaps in between. So that was I used the knife tool, and what that does is basically, as you can see, this is one complete shape. What the knife tool does, it allows you to cut your shapes. So now I have 2 shapes. Obviously that's curved. So to stop that curving, when you use the knife tool, you hold Alt, and then you can draw in a straight line. So there's 1, another 1, 2, another 1, 3. So now if all goes to plan, that should come apart, and that's not coming apart, but you get the idea. And yeah, it was basically just moving them together and then just lining up using the font that I use here. I think it was Century Gothic, and this one was TW Century MT or something like that. I can put the fonts in the descriptions. So yeah, basically again, that's logo. And as you saw previously, there was a different logo. It was pretty like this logo here, these logos here. Was just a few examples of similar type logos, but they're all pretty much inspired by the Capcom versus SNK logos. As you can see, like the curves, the shapes, how the letters of the numbers are presented. I see they're pretty inspired by them, and it's just obviously the 4 stars represent the number 4. Again, it's just a few ideas that I threw about out there, like, because and this is all development stuff, and I weren't really sure where we were going with the logo. So but I'm happy with how it turned out, and I think it works well and it stands out. Like, it's pretty iconic. Again, obviously from initially I had ideas of stars and things like that, and it ended up coming out how it came out. And I like this logo, to be honest, but I think because it's already been done, like, it's already been done in terms of people would be able to look at it and probably think, oh yeah, that looks like the Capcom versus SNK logo, and then that's not really a thing you want. Here I am and just deconstructing the logo, so you can see all the different elements. I've just used the gradients to get the gold look, and versus fighting series, blah blah blah. But yeah, basically I like the logo. It might get used for something else, but it's something that's been done and it's kind of too obvious that it's been done before, so we kind of stayed away from that. We stayed away from that logo, and yeah, that's about it really. Hopefully the video has not been too long, and thanks for watching. Obviously, you got a brief look on the design process of Versus Fighting 4. I think on the last video that I did, the last design based video, which was the We Are Tekken one, I think I said I'll be back soon. I'll definitely be back soon. Like, it's not going to be as long because that was years ago now, so it's not going to be as long. But as I say, thanks to everyone that came down to Versus Fighting, all the sponsors involved, all the people that helped out, that donated prizes, all the guys that helped stream, just the general help throughout the weekend. Thank you. It was a great event. I think all the videos up on the YouTube page now. The Marvel top 8, Tekken top 8, Injustice top 4, BlazBlue top 4. So that's just Electronic Dojo. No, it's youtube.com/Electronic Dojo. All the videos on there. I'll be back soon. Shout outs to you guys. Just keep supporting the events, and we'll keep doing them basically. Yeah, and I think that's probably it from me. Thanks guys for watching. I'll definitely be back soon with another design related video. And also there should be a link in the description for the previous I dropped a few of the Dojo Battle Royale series posters as PSDs. There's about 5, 6, 7 different posters, all different, all pretty good. So if you check the link in the description and download them and just have a look, it just gives you insight into how I work and what effects I've used and things like that. You can have a bit of play around with them. Just free PSDs. So yeah, I'll drop that in the description. As I say, thanks again. I feel like I'm rambling now, so I'm gonna head off. But I say just keep it locked to Dojo. I'm sure we'll be back soon enough with events. electronicdojo.co.uk. On Facebook, same thing. On Twitter, same thing. Electronic Dojo. Twitch. There should be some streams coming soon as well. You know, we gotta step up the stream game and that. So yeah, I say once again, thanks for everyone that came to Versus Fighting, partake, spectators, all sorts. Yeah, it's SBD signing out. See you later, guys. Thanks.